Hello beautiful people and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Cole. I love makeup and colour, and today we're going to be doing would I repurchase these 10 random palettes. I normally get Sam to pick these, but today I thought we would use a random number generator just because it's a little more fun. So I'm going to be randomly generating 10 palettes and I'm going to tell you whether I'd repurchase them, what I love, what I don't like, etc, etc. So without further ado, I'm going to pull up my wheel. And we are going to generate. Okay, so the first one is ColourPop Honey. Honey. Okay, then we have Makeup by Mario Master Metals. We have Vizia Warm Edit. We have Charlotte Tilbury Denim Dimension. We've got Beauty Bay Earthy. We have Oden's Eye Hey Reindeer. This one is P.Louise Call the Shots. I can't even remember what that palette looks like, I'm not gonna lie. We have Kaleidos Flower Punk. I feel like if you guys are regulars, you're gonna know exactly what I think about that one. We have Master Metals again. Unicorn Cosmetics Angel Palettes. We have ColourPop Baby Got Peach. Let me go and pull these out and then I'll tell you what I think about them. I have collected my palettes. Let's go through them in the order that we pulled them. So first off we have ColourPop Honey, which is a monochromatic yellow palette. That is what she looks like. This one is nice. For me, personally, I'd rather it was more kind of focused on shades like this. So this is Sweet Spot, and then this one here, which is Oh Behave. I feel like these are much more like fun yellows, whereas the rest of this palette is quite neutral. For me, I wouldn't repurchase it again. I don't love when these ColourPop palettes have like the pressed glitter in the middle. It's just not, I like pressed glitter, I just would rather it wasn't in my palettes. So yeah, this one, I don't love it, I'm not gonna lie. So no, I would not repurchase that one. Next up we have Makeup by Mario Master Metals. This is what that looks like. This is basically like a very, very intense metallic pigment, which is beautiful on its own, but they do kind of recommend that you mix it with a mixer medium. So I mixed mine with Inglot Duraline. I obviously didn't wipe the palette last time I used it, which is kind of gross. But essentially what they do is they recommend you kind of scrape a bit of the eyeshadow out essentially, and mix it with a mixing medium, and these make the most beautiful foiled eyeshadows. Now this palette is expensive for what it is, considering it's like 5 eyeshadows, but I love these eyeshadows. Like I said, I love them like just as a normal eyeshadow as well, but mixing them, they're just beautiful. This is my favourite shade by far. This is the shade Rose Gold, but you've got like a silver, a gold, a copper. This is beautiful. I would absolutely repurchase this. Like I said, it's not the most inexpensive palette in the world, but it's unlike anything else I've got in my collection, and I really love it. Okay, Viseart's Warm Edit. This is what this one looks like. It's a little tiny baby palette, and this is what she looks like. This is a really beautiful palette. This is one that I used to love when I wore a lot of warm eyeshadows. I love the Viseart formula. It's beautiful. It's very pigmented. It's very easily blendable. These days, this is not my colour story. I wouldn't repurchase this one. I really love the yellow. I really love these 2 oranges. But other than that, oh, and this shade here, which is like a bit of like a duochrome kind of orangey, coppery gold kind of shade. Other than that, I wouldn't wear 90% of these eyeshadows unless I was kind of purposefully using this palette. So I think for me, this one would have to be a no, just because it's just not my kind of colour story or my kind of vibe anymore. Next up, we have one of the new Charlotte Tilbury 9 pans. This is Denim Dimension. I really enjoy this palette. That's what this looks like. These blues are beautiful. They are really, really bright, really, really pigmented. I would repurchase this again. I was so excited when I saw that Charlotte Tilbury were bringing out kind of colourful eyeshadows. This shade here is like a beautiful topper. I was very excited to see they were bringing out colourful eyeshadows, and these really didn't disappoint. I really like these. I know a lot of people have a lot of opinions about them, but I personally think it's a really great little palette. Okay, next up, Beauty Bay Earthy. If you are a regular on my channel, you might have seen my Botanical versus Earthy video. I talked about how much I adore this palette. It's greens, it's reds, it's stunning. There's loads of really bright shades, like Trance and Rave are just incredible bright greens. This is my kind of vibe. I could probably do without the bottom 2 rows, but I like that they're there. This is a gorgeous palette. I absolutely love it. Absolutely 100% would buy this again if it was still available. But it seems, unfortunately, that the Botanical palette has kind of replaced that one. Okay, Oden's Eye Hey Reindeer. These Christmas palettes for me from Oden's Eye were average. It's a pretty palette. There's some pretty shades in here. This shade called Candy Cane is like a beautiful duochrome. This Christmas Ham shade is a beautiful kind of iridescent shade. But this colour story, it just doesn't do anything for me. I feel like I wish it was like a darker blue. I wish there was a darker kind of reddy shade. I wish the darkest shade wasn't just like a cool toned brown, because it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. This is okay. I'm glad I've got it in my collection. I would use it, but I wouldn't repurchase it if I didn't own it. Okay, this is the P.Louise palette that I didn't know what it was, and now I've found it out. I know why. This is the one we got in the budget box that I got very, very angry about. I mean, I know I got very angry about a lot of the budget boxes, but this one I was particularly annoyed at because this palette is ridiculous. This is Claire's makeup. These 3 shimmers at the top are lovely. Like, absolutely stunning shimmer shades, but the mattes are just absolutely, completely nondescript. Half of them are like a neutral colour that is just like a lid setting shade. Yeah. No, absolutely wouldn't repurchase that in a million years. If somebody told me if I bought that I'd get £1 million, I think I'd still be torn about buying it because it it's just awful, to be honest. Right, okay, this is the one that I said you guys might recognise. I recently did a dupe in the Vibes video with this one. I adore this palette. Absolutely would 110% repurchase this one if it was still available, and it disappeared out of my collection. I love this palette. It's beautiful. This colour story is so fun. It's so springy summer. Absolutely love that one. Absolutely, without a doubt, would repurchase. Okay, a brand I don't talk about a lot on my channel. This is the Angel palette from Gerard Cosmetics. This is a palette that I really, really, really loved, but I'm going to be honest, haven't really pulled it out in a while. And I probably will now I've done this video. It's got some really beautiful kind of pastel-y shades in it. It's a really fun palette. I don't love these kind of half shades as much as some people do, but it's just like a personal preference. The shimmers in here they're okay. They're like a normal shimmer, but they're not the most kind of metallic normal shimmer I've ever seen. But I really do like the mattes. I think it's a fun colour story, and I probably would repurchase this one. I don't actually know if this one is still available, but I will leave everything linked below. Anything that's still available will have a link. And then finally, we picked another ColourPop palette. This is Baby Got Peach. Now this one, despite the fact it has got a pressed glitter in, I do really like this colour story. It's more kind of actually peach rather than being like the yellow palette, which is just a neutral palette with a pop of yellow. This pressed glitter in here actually is really pretty. Like I said, I'm not a big kind of pressed glitter in a palette format, but this one is really beautiful. I think the thing is with the Honey palette as well is it's got the pressed glitter, which I don't love, but it's also not the best pressed glitter, whereas this one's super fun. I really like this palette. I would repurchase this one. I love ColourPop's shadow formula, and I like the fact that this one is more kind of focused on the monochrome colour story, whereas I feel like I said, this one is just like a neutral palette to me with a pop of yellow. So yeah, and like I said, this yellow glitter is just not as good. It's just kind of like a basic gold. So yeah, that is whether I would repurchase these 10 palettes or not. Let me know if you own any of these. Let me know if you completely disagree. Is the palettes here you definitely never repurchase? Is the palettes here that you would absolutely always repurchase? Let me know it all in the comments down below. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more from me, hit subscribe. And if you want to make sure you never miss another video, hit the bell icon and YouTube will notify you next time I post. You've been fabulous. I've been Coleoftheball, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.